start with President Buhari's inauguration speech. Is there anything that strikes you about that speech?
Yes, for me, the key point, in regards to our recent experience as a people, is the statement of intention that is prepared to be father to all. For me, that is very important because our country has gone through too much strife and a kind of competition that is, at the end of the day, self-defeating. As they say sometimes in negotiation, if you negotiate to solve a problem, everybody will benefit. But if you negotiate to defeat the other party, you are not likely to make much progress. It will drag on and on and on, and at the end of the day, it's like a board on the line. The line is not resting, the board is not resting. So for me, of course, people have interpreted the fact that it belongs to everybody, it doesn't belong to nobody. People have interpreted it to mean whatever they want to interpret it to mean. But my own understanding of what is said in that speech is that, look, the campaigns are over, the elections are over. It is now time for us to work together to build the country. And I think that is important. For me, I don't interpret it as being, maybe he wants to fight somebody, he wants to ignore somebody, he wants to say, somebody who helped me, I'm no more with you. I don't see it that way. I think we should always learn to look at the bigger picture. Why do we have all this crisis in our country? People are afraid that if somebody who is not from their area has executive powers at the federal level, if somebody doesn't belong to their religion, they are apprehensive, they are suspicious that whatever is due to them, most likely to be deprived of it, that probably they won't even have somebody who will listen to them if they have a complaint. And then the tendency is to think, oh, so for the next 4 years, it's going to be suffering for us. And then the problem begins to build up. So for me, I find that very important. In terms of whether policy statements and what he will do and what he will not do, I think it's asking for too much to think that in that speech, that is where you will now see policy direction and all of that. No, I think we will only begin to see that as he settles down, he appoints key officials of state and takes some other steps. So I would say it's a good speech. Having regards to the fact that some people were pressed that the president will probably be an Islamic fundamentalist, he will probably be somebody who, when you elect him, the North will appropriate him as their personal property, then nobody else will be able to do whatever. And so I think it's quite reassuring.
The controversy over whether he should have made his assets public as he was declaring it before the Code of Conduct Bureau, where do you stand on that?
He should make it public. Not only that, he should also be able to prevail or persuade those who will work with him to do the same thing. The reason is because the perception in our country, whether somebody is corrupt or not corrupt, is essentially a matter of perception. A lot of Nigerians, and perhaps for good reasons, they have this feeling that, that's why in government, he's stealing. All of these people, I used to know this man, he didn't have anything before, now he has so much. They won't do better, they won't. And it is eroding confidence in our country. And sometimes it makes you want to look at yourself and ask, look, as a people, is it that we can't be seen to do anything right? Is it that we can't be seen to do anything that is transparent? Is it that we can't be seen to operate in the public space, which is a place of trust, in such a way that you can just make yourself an open book for the period for which you are asked to serve? Because it's a period of sacrifice. Although I see some Nigerians will throw a party, they want to do that. Well, fair enough. But it's a period of great sacrifice for anybody who accepts to occupy such offices. So I think the president should lead by example.
Now let's talk about the justice sector. What reforms do you think that we need the most?
My understanding of justice sector is a bit bigger than the perception that, okay, you talk about the judiciary, the lawyers, the police, public prosecutions,
prisons.
prisons, if you like, the Federal Road Safety Corps Group, or even LASMA, and all those kind of things. We have to always, to my mind, look at the bigger picture. Now, if you take the courts, most times we advert our minds to the judge that is sitting and the lawyers that are presenting their cases. But every court proceeding is bigger than that. The process is far elongated than that short time that you see a judge sitting and the lawyer making his appearance. Before the matter gets to the table of the judge, it will pass through the registry in terms of assessment of fees, in terms of filing, and there are times in some courts they don't even have receipts. The litigant wants to pay. They don't have receipts for him to file his papers. In some states,
they don't have seats.
Receipts to issue to the person that is paying money to file papers. Now, when you file your papers, it's not the business of the judge to be going after the registry staff to say they should go and bring the files quickly to his office, or so that he or she can quickly do something about it. They also will do what they have to do. Then when the judge sits, usually it will come with an orderly who will probably knock at the door, open, and all of that. Then you see the court registrar sitting in front. Unless perhaps if a judge needs to work on a file, in terms of whether he wants to check, to write a ruling or whatever, the files are with those people who keep the files. Now, take delay in justice administration, which is a major problem. Yeah, but an irresponsible court clerk can adjourn a case. Because the judge will tell you, Mr. X, I'm sorry. I'm just told that they can't find your file.
They can't find your file?
Yeah.
This is negligence of the court registrar or something.
So you have to come back. How do you account for that? But it's a cycle in which we are. If you take our country, the way I understand it, and from my little experience as somebody in the private sector who has a cause to employ people, there's a skill gap, a very huge skill gap, and it doesn't spare the justice sector as we describe it. It doesn't. So it tells me that also if you look at the power supply situation, it doesn't spare the justice sector. The poor road infrastructure doesn't spare the justice. Whatever challenges we have as a people, it goes in every sector. So if we focus our attention on the judge that is sitting, on the court officials, on the lawyers, I think we'll miss the point. A judge is ready to sit. He didn't design his building. Some people give out the contract for the design of the building. And the building is not well lit in such a way that you can open the windows and you have enough light coming for the judge to sit. The room is dark. Even if you look at the court recording system, how many courts have we been able to install that? What is the support that we have in terms of manpower, in terms of infrastructure to keep it going as it should be? So if we really want to get the justice sector to move, we need to get the country to move. And I think that is where the president comes in. Between the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive, the role of the president under this constitution that we operate is the most powerful. That office is the most powerful. The remaining two, they only try to moderate that power. They try to ensure a balance that it doesn't go overboard in doing whatever It's whether by way of oversight or by judicial decision and all of that. But that tells me that whoever is occupying that seat, what he does or does not do, it's so critical to solving any of these problems and challenges that we are talking about. So if we make up our mind that we are going to be fair, we are going to be just in our dealings, and it starts from the top. Because whether it is the executive, the judiciary, the legislature, Shola, everyone is in a position of public trust. And, we got to a stage in our national life that even when government sets up committees to investigate something, to write a report, they gather heads. Nigerians become so cynical and say nothing will come out of it.
It's one committee after the other.
So somebody has to inspire confidence in our people. Somebody has to make us believe in ourselves again. And I believe that that is the greatest opportunity our president has. And like I said, thank God he says, I'm going to be available to you all. I'm going to deal fairly with you all, irrespective of what part of the country you come from or the religion that you practice. If our president does that by way of personal example, I can assure you, gradually things will begin to change. For instance, what is bad in trying to make people acquire skill? It's better for people to acquire skill than for you to be distributing 5,000 naira to them during election. Yeah. But now you are the president. You have 4 years to teach them that when next we are going to vote, look at what people are able to do for you. So the opportunity we have as a country for this new beginning, I believe it is enormous. And the justice sector naturally will benefit. If you look at most of the allegations of corruption, under the ICPC Act, under the EFCC Act, the Criminal Code, and all of the Penal Code, look, the judiciary before now, they dealt with those cases. And it didn't matter who it was. They dealt with those cases. Those who were supposed to be convicted, they were convicted. And I'm not talking about British judges now. Nigerian judges. It's all there in the law reports. Then, what is important is that the judges that are appointed to whatever court, they are fit for appointment. And they have the skill, they have the training, they have the integrity, they have the commitment to do that job. Once you do that, whether it is corruption case, trademark infringement case, breach of contract, landlord, whatever, the court will deal with it. The important thing is that let us have a judiciary that works. But society must be such that is able to accommodate a judiciary that works.
That is our interview and the program this week. What are your thoughts? Please share them via email, Facebook, or Twitter. I'm Shola Shayeli. Thank you for watching.